I always like making videos about Romanian, and the title of this video is Romanian. Can Romance language speakers understand each other? One question mark would have been sufficient. World friends. How similar are they? All right, that's a nice one. So I'm a Romance language speaker. I can see there are two Portuguese speakers here. So the Romanian is here. Do Romanians always wear leather jackets? For some reasons, when I imagine a Romanian, I do imagine them wearing a leather jacket. And then we've got a Portuguese speaker from Portugal and a Portuguese speaker from Brazil. If they don't have an Italian, I'm here. I'm here for it. Let's go. Let's see if we can understand Romanian. Let's go.
I'm actually excited to see you guys trying to guess what I'm saying. It's like, I want to see the blood.
Zapata sounds like be happy, être heureux. I'm so heureux today.
Why is everything so different?
Yeah, très heureux. Très heureux de faire ta connaissance. Heureux is kind of strange, isn't it, to say happy? Has nothing to do with, I would say felice. Très heureux. I wonder where it comes from. So we've got, we do have an Italian. This girl is from Italy, France, Spain, Brazil, Portugal, and Romania. That's a nice team. That's an A team. Anyways, I also want to hear her speak, so maybe I can place her accent in Italy. Let's go.
It's so different. It's really different.
Right.
Hello.
Honestly, not.
I've never heard Romanian in my life. I know it's a Roman...
It's a Romance language.
Romanian,
Yeah.
Roman language, yeah.
Makes sense, makes sense.
So I guess like it should be not that hard to understand at least some vocabulary.
Yes. Should be sort of close to us, I guess.
Yeah.
At least in some context. That is going to be interesting for you guys. True. I think
I have heard Romanian before. It's a cool sounding language.
to some extent they will be able to understand Romanian because at the base of it, it's Latin language.
Yeah.
So just as French and Spanish and Portuguese, they will be able to understand some words and expressions at least.
Right.
I'm excited to see how it's going to turn out
Yeah,
to be.
me too.
I'm actually excited to see you guys trying to guess what I'm saying. It's like, I want to see the blood. Channeling my inner vampire, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's go.
In my language is okay. Bună tuturor, numele meu este Ralu, 24 de ani, sunt dansatoare și pentru 21 de ani am trăit în Transilvania și apoi ulterior m-am mutat aici, în Coreea de Sud.
I thought I was gonna understand.
I understood a little bit. Like she said she spent some time in Transylvania. I think she said the number, but I didn't recognize it. And then she says she lives in South Korea, but I didn't understand a lot.
More, not gonna lie.
I understood only my name is Laru and
Okay. What?
Yeah.
Not even the age, when I said my age?
no.
Okay, let me repeat that. Am 24 de ani.
An 24. 24?
24 de ani.
It sounds so much like Portuguese to me.
Patri is like 4?
Yes.
Oh,
I don't
okay,
think-
Okay. Patro, quattro.
Quattro in Italian.
Come on. 24. It could be 24, like.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got it.
That's so
Those is
confusing.
12 for
Because,
us.
like, for us is 12. So it's like 20, like 2 tens.
That's what I thought myself. Yeah, when she said, I'm like, she can't be 14, so it's gotta mean 24.
When she, like, first word was like bona, and I thought, okay.
And then
But it does sound familiar. It sounds like something you know. I was like, oh, could be Portuguese?
Really?
Yeah.
I would say it's someone from São Paulo speaking.
Really?
Really?
But you know, like when you're a kid and you try to speak English without knowing English and you
Just
just go like
gibberish.
rad. It sounds like that.
I think 20%.
Yeah, 30%. We know she's introducing herself, so we kind of know.
That's a good assessment. I would say maybe 20% so far, but we need to hear more.
to expect. So she goes like bona something, okay, like good afternoon, whatever.
Yeah.
And then like my name, I forgot how it is, and her age and South Korea something. Transylvania.
A little bit of an accent because I'm from Transylvania, and our part of the country has a little bit of an accent that's closer to Hungarian rather than the real Romanian. I don't have a strong accent, but I still have a little bit of it.
Can you like?
So if anyone is watching who knows Romanian, let me know if she does have a strong accent, because oftentimes people think they don't have an accent or think they have a small accent, but in reality it's actually a lot more noticeable.
Make an example of the accent, like what is your
Yeah.
accent, what is like the standard Romanian?
The word doamne, but in standard Romanian it's like doamne, but we can say oh doamne.
Domnie. Oh,
I
it
see.
does sound a little bit different.
Add a lot of vowels and like elongate them, and sometimes it can sound different than normal.
Right.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Keep talking, keep talking.
Let's go.
Oh, in Romania, snow is zăpadă.
What?
Unrecognizable. In Italian would be neve. Also, where is the Italian girl? I thought there was an Italian girl.
What?
I was so expecting something like
Nevi.
Nevi.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Zapata sounds like shoe. Okay, I'm not on that one.
Yeah, in Portugal we say neve.
In Brazil, we say neve.
In Spain, we say nieve. In French, we say neige.
Wow.
Really? Yeah, we say neve in Italian, neve. So interesting. Did you notice the difference between the Portuguese? He said nev, kind of cut. Instead, she said nevi. I thought that was interesting.
I was really expecting Romanian to be much closer.
Yeah, me too.
We have a lot of words that are kept from the people that were on our territory before the Roman Empire came. And
Right.
those words have a lot of Z's and V's in the words. This one is one of them. It's like zăpadă is from way back.
That's why. I mean, I think we have like this misconception that because Romania, it would be much more Roman.
Yeah, like Latin.
I think some people are gonna disagree with her here because I know Romanians are actually very proud of their Latin connections. So I know people in the comments are gonna go nuts if they're from Romania against what she's saying. I do think it really depends on the sentences and the words, because sometimes when I listen to Romanian, I understand the entire sentence, and you can absolutely tell there is a strong connection to Latin. But other times, if they choose those sentences that have a lot of Slavic influence, then we don't understand anything. It's possible that this feels a little bit like she's specifically choosing those.
Latin is, I think, just 50% of our language.
Wow.
I don't know. You can't guess it. You have to speak. You have to say numbers after reviewing the data. You can't just say, I think 50% because you're going to mess it up at that point. Or maybe she's right. I don't know. I haven't looked it up. But she didn't seem like someone who knows it's a fact.
Okay.
It would be pretty hard for us to learn Romanian.
I know, right?
I thought this
No.
whole video would be about like, oh my god, it's so similar.
Me too.
Well, surprise!
Okay.
So happy in Romanian is fericit.
In Portugal, happy is feliz.
In Brazil, we say feliz.
In Spain, we say feliz. In French, we say heureux.
And we say felice. This one is absolutely recognizable.
Be happy, être heureux. I'm so heureux
Heureux.
today.
Heureux.
Okay, so for the first time, I'm closer to you guys.
Yeah.
than,
Exactly.
Yeah, French is to us.
Usually, like, French is the bullied one. Now we have two to bully. Yay!
I felt that earlier. You were like, oh, Zapata is like shoes, and you were like, three of you, true. And I was like, what are they talking about? Not shoes, but in French.
Okay, so meat in Romanian is carne.
Exactly the same. In Italian, it's carne.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, in Portugal, meat is carne.
In Brazil, it's carne.
In Spain, it's carne. In French, it's viande.
And I love these guys. Yeah, I'd say Spanish and Italian are exactly the same. Maybe a slight difference in the pronunciation of the vowel at the end, but almost the same, really.
Get out. No, why am I the bully one here?
We love you.
La viande.
Okay, so we have two main ways to say hello. We either say salut or bună.
Bună or salut. Yeah, salut, absolutely, I would understand it. Bună, in context, we can understand it because it sounds like buona, which is what usually it's the adjective for good in Italian that precedes all the words like buonasera, buona giornata. Buongiorno is cut, but it's because giorno is masculine. But yeah.
Just bona.
Bună, or we can add like bună ziua for good day, or bună seara for good night.
Yeah, buonasera it sounds like buonasera in Italian. Very similar. I would have been confused but for good day though. I would have thought that was good evening at first.
But the main one is just like bună or salut.
I love it. This is so cute. Bună.
It is, yeah.
So in Portugal, we pretty much just say olá.
In Brazil, we also have two ways. We say oi or olá. Oi.
Oi.
Hola.
That's so cute.
Hola.
That's the more common. We don't really say hola as much. So like we usually differentiate like, oh, if you say hola, you're probably from Portugal.
Really?
Or like you're being very formal.
Yeah, I thought it was seen like that, right? Allah is super formal.
Because most of us just say oi.
In Spain, we say hola. In French, we have two ways to like bonjour or like hi, it will be salut.
Oh.
Yeah, in Italian it's ciao. And this is going to sound strange if you speak Spanish, because in Spanish, ciao is like when you say goodbye. But in Italian, ciao is both hello and goodbye. We say ciao in both situations. So oftentimes in Italy, you'll hear ciao, come stai? It's a combo. And then, of course, buongiorno, but everyone has that. Like bon dia, buenos dias, bonjour, buongiorno. I love languages.
I see now. I see why they're gonna be the booming one. I'm joking.
We're trauma bonding here.
I was thinking in Spain, if we want to be really casual, we also would say like buenas.
Buenas.
Buenas would mean like good or good. It would be more similar, right?
Yeah.
Like,
That's interesting because in Portugal, like really casual way of saying hello is also boas. I don't know if you guys use that in Brazil, but I guess it's
Boas.
literally buenas, but just in Portuguese.
Yeah, we don't really say it. Okay.
Wow.
Good morning in Romania is bună dimineața. Yeah, it's bună dimineața.
In Portugal, we say bom dia.
In Brazil, we say bom dia.
I love the difference in pronunciation. Bon dia and bon dia. As we said, buongiorno. Some Italians can just cut it and say giorno. Giorno. Usually it's buongiorno, but I've heard people say giorno, sera, instead of buonasera. So we cut it the other way around. We just say the evening part, the morning part, right? You wouldn't say buon. That doesn't work in Italian. We would just say the other side. Man, I never thought of it that way, actually. Sera, yeah, buonasera, sera.
Spain, we say buenos dias. in
Yeah.
French, good morning is bonjour.
Bonjour for everything.
It's like bonjour, it's like bon, it's good, and jour, it's day.
Yeah.
We don't, we use it from morning to.
I love how she nasalizes. We don't. I love the accent. Yeah, and I also like her accent. She's from Madrid. I like that she has retracted S's. I don't know if you noticed that. But when she said buenos dias, it's a little bit, the S at the end is a bit in between the sh and the s frontal. So it's kind of in between. It's a retracted S, which is the same S that they used in classical Latin, which we usually don't use in Italy, at least in standard Italian, where I'm from, we don't. We use frontal S's. But in some areas of northern Italy, like in the northwest, and maybe some areas in the northeast as well, they do have retracted S's. And they kind of kept them. It's more conservative in that way, the sound. And I can do it. I learned how to do it, but it's not my natural S. I only use it when I speak either Spanish, Greek. In modern Greek, they have retracted S's. That's why sometimes Greek and Spanish speakers get mixed up. In Europe, that will happen. If you start speaking Greek fluently and someone doesn't know what you're speaking, they might think you're from Madrid. It happens because of the retracted S's. It's phenomenal. Fascinating. So I only use retracted S's when I speak classical Latin or Spanish or Greek, I guess. Otherwise, I go back into my natural frontal S, which is the same as English.
Night, and after at night we have another one.
Actually, it's the same thing in Brazil, but the thing is, like, there's people who don't like to say bom dia, like, in the afternoon, because they say, like, oh, it's morning, not afternoon. That's because, like, the word dia means both, like, day or daytime, like, morning.
Yeah.
That's like, if I have to translate, it would be like bon matin, but nobody say that.
Yeah.
No, for us Romanian, we have a specific word of greeting for morning, noon, afternoon, evening,
Let's go.
night. When we meet each other, when we separate each other, it's like all different ways of saying it.
Spanish too, no?
Yes, I wanted to add something. You said bon dia, right?
Yeah.
In Catalan, we say bon dia too.
Oh.
So she speaks Catalan and Spanish. So she's not from Madrid. She's from a Catalan-speaking. Who knows?
Like,
But you guys also differentiate, right? Like morning, afternoon,
yes,
night.
exactly. We would say each time, and people also get like a little bit. It's not the morning now; it's afternoon, so you have to say good afternoon.
People do that in Italy too. Yeah, in fact, I think where I'm from, in the south, people start saying buonasera, good evening, after lunch. Like literally, it's like 1:30 and people start saying buonasera. It's so strange, but people do that in Sicily.
Yeah, nice.
Yes.
We have that for the night. It's not the day, it's the night. You have to say bonsoir and not bonjour.
What's
Yeah.
your name? Actually translate the question, right? Okay, so when we ask what is your name, we say cum te chiama.
Oh yeah, it's very similar to Italian. Very similar.
have the thing. Okay.
Okay, in Portugal, we just ask, como te chamas?
In Brazil, we say, como você se chama? Or, qual é o seu nome?
In
So interesting that a Brazilian seems to prefer the you plural as opposed to, he didn't use that. I don't know if they use it in Portuguese. That's something that we did in medieval Italian. We used to use the voi, which is you plural. In medieval Italian, you'll find it a lot. Otherwise, mostly, I think the one dialect, I shouldn't say dialect, but regional language that still uses it a lot is Neapolitan. They use the voi a lot, more than any other. Because in standard Italian, in a lot of other regions now, we just use tu or lei. So we actually call people she for when we want to be formal.
Spain we say, ¿cómo te llamas? Or, ¿cuál es tu nombre? In French we say, we only have one word in common, but I'm happy. We say, ¿cómo tu t'appelles?
In Italian we say come ti chiami o qual è il tuo nome.
See,
What happened? What? The Italian got summoned back. She disappeared. What happened? But she's right, of course. Come ti chiami? Qual è il tuo nome? Qual è il tuo nome is a bit book Italian, though. I never used it in my entire life. I mean, you could. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just speaking personally. I always say come ti chiami or come si chiama if you want to be formal. Qual è il tuo nome? Qual è il tuo nome? Maybe if I'm like writing it down, scusa, qual è il tuo nome? But I would still say come ti chiami. Maybe it's just me.
Comment tu t'appelles?
In Italian we say come ti chiami o qual è il tuo nome.
see, it's already a
Qual è il tuo nome? It's not enough. It's not enough. I need to listen to her speak a little longer. A little more.
similar to Italian. Like I was
It
waiting for
is.
this because whenever I talk with Italians, I can understand them more and they can understand me more.
Makes sense, yeah. Makes sense. The way she asked, what's your name, it was a lot closer to Italian.
I think it's the closest one.
Maybe.
I
yeah.
think apart from Portugal, I could understand almost everybody.
Oh. You can't understand Portugal?
Can you say that again?
Como te chamas?
I mean, I could, but it will give me a little bit to get there. Like, I will let my brain...
She's absolutely right. Portuguese, for me, is the hardest to understand of all Romance languages. It's so strange, but that's how it is. And in fact, Portuguese is the hardest. It's even harder than Brazilian Portuguese. And that's so weird because geographically, Portuguese should be a lot closer, right? I understand Brazilian Portuguese more easily. Once I figured out how they pronounce a few sounds, then I'm like, yeah, I can get this. But Portuguese sounds like they're cutting everything up in pieces when they speak. I like it, but I'm like, I don't know, man. I haven't got a clue.
process it a little bit.
Okay, so when we ask where are you from in Romania, we say de unde ești or din ce țară vii, but like most probably like de unde ești.
What is din ce țară vii?
Din ce țară vii is literally what country are you from.
Right.
I think in Portugal, like the basic way of saying it is just asking de onde ești?
Yeah, it's very similar.
Similar.
Disappeared.
In Brazil, we would say, de onde você é?
It's similar, right?
Yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah.
In Spain we would say, ¿de dónde eres? ¿De dónde eres? In French we can say, tu viens d'où? Or like, d'où est-ce que tu viens? Like,
Oh, I think French is very different though.
It sounds nice. French sounds so nice.
In Italy we say di dove sei or da dove vieni.
I feel like we went on the same like path on like de onde é, kind of
Yeah.
similar all here, and then they go like with some words and I'm like, what?
we are friend on this one.
Because where in Italian is dove. Yeah, dove. Anyways, we're halfway through. I don't want to watch the whole thing. I wish the Italian girl was here for longer, but she's probably going to be for the entirety of the second part. I had a good time, though. This was fun. These people are so fun. They're nice. I'm going to give them a like. And yeah, nice. So as you see, I think the further on we go, the more we'll find sentences that we can actually understand as Romance language speakers when it comes to Romanian. Because, yeah, Romanian, people always forget Romanian. They're like, oh, yeah, Romance languages, Italian, Spanish, French, Portuguese, and they end it there. But it's not fair because Romanian is a Latin language too. And, yeah, it was good, though. I enjoyed it. It was really fun.